how young can we be affected by trauma? Can babies be affected by trauma?
Sure, sure. Babies can be affected by trauma in the womb, even before they're conceived, depending on the relationship. And obviously, there's a predisposition at an ancestral level to what's handed down for the health of the parents.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's handed down through
so
the generations.
Genetics, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a predisposition in certain people. It's a massive subject. And hello. Just have a blank moment. Should we start from here then?
Well,
Should
yeah,
we ask that question again?
Yeah, because I've got it all written down, you see, so there we go.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, Bill, how young can we be affected by trauma, and can babies be affected by trauma?
Sure. We can be affected by trauma in the womb, and even before the womb, depending on the predisposition of the parents and the relationship, and obviously that affects the baby in the womb. Baby can hear the sound of the father's voice from about 41, 42 days, and it will be affected by that very tone. Generally speaking, a man affects a child by the tone of his voice, and a woman by the look, the mother. And obviously a baby's picking up the mother's emotions in the womb, so depending on what the relationship is like with both the parents. And obviously birth is a major trauma, and also there's toxins involved with sort of vaccinations and other interventions that are going on there from the medical world. And then babies are like sponges. A baby's still in subconscious mind for the first 6 years of life, so they're massively susceptible to outside influences in a negative way. And babies pick up everything negative and they pick up everything positive. And that first nurturing, even when a baby comes out, when a baby's born, really it should be next to the skin, and it should be it'll go straight to the breast to suckle, because that's what it's meant to do.
Yes.
And it's that eye contact between the mother and the baby, whether the eyes are open or not, energetically is a connection. And the heart contact and the heart field is massive. The heart field, even in the womb on a baby, is so much bigger than what's needed for the heart to function. And the heart is the main energy centre in the body. So children, yeah, of course. And the younger we are, we have to feel safe at all times, always, always, always. And depending on the attachment or non-attachment of the parents, and how much tactile, how much touch they have, how much look, the tone of the voice, just they have to, they have to feel safe. But even all the top experts in the world who work in the field of trauma, they all talk about, even if the parents and the mother especially is giving the child about 30% of what they really need, nurturing, that's fine, that's enough. Because we can also go the other way, whereas they're totally mollycoddled and they don't develop any strategies
How to behave and how to think
for dealing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So that's one of the ways that the parents can affect, or can have an effect on the child,
Massively.
making them more susceptible to trauma.
Sure.
What's the other ways, or what's any other ways?
Obviously there's toxicity. There's any specific circumstances that happen, either in babies, obviously they're in the care of the parents, and obviously in circumstantial stuff in life when children are really young, depending on their relationships. And the first 2 years of life, from the last trimester in pregnancy, the front orbital cortex develops first, and the hippocampus develops, and it stops developing after 2 years. And that is the part of our brain that governs how well we fit in society, how well we belong. You see confident people, and those are the people who've been nurtured in the first couple of years of life, generally speaking, and the hippocampus doesn't grow after that.
Oh, I see.
So that's the real growth time for development in a baby, and nurturing.
Right. Okay. Is there anything else that parents can do or do when the child is older that affect you know, make the child more susceptible to traumas, or anything that they should avoid doing.
Yeah, lots they should avoid doing. But everyone's doing the best they can under the circumstances. Obviously, the bottom line is to keep a child safe, to let him know that he's loved, wanted, and to let him develop and encourage him, and instill that confidence, and let him know he's a part of,
Yeah.
and he's provided for, he's cared for, and he's special. It's important.
And respected, and the acceptance of just
Totally.
as the way they are, rather than the way that you want them to be.
Sure.
Yeah, and accepted for their behaviour, even though you may not approve of their behaviour, just
Sure.
that you still love them anyway.
Oh yes, yes.
Okay, that's great.